There are only a couple of weeks left in tax season. Already, millions of Americans are cashing in on their refund checks. But before you splurge, there are some smart ways to put that money to good use. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to tell us how to do that.
Yeah, no splurging.
No splurging
No
with prices.
fun.
Yeah, because prices of goods are going up. So if it's, I mean, people want to take a vacation. They got a little extra money in the bank. What's the smartest way then, if not that?
Okay, first of all, I mean, the refunds are tracking higher this year, about 10% higher. $3,600 on average. 70 million people have filed already. 50 million have gotten refunds. I hate refunds, gang. Hate them. Because why?
Means you're paying a lot in taxes.
Well, no. It means that you've lent money to Uncle Sam and gotten zero interest for that. So that said, I think that when you get this money, it's already last season, the first thing to consider is to go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and use their withholding estimator tool. Figure out how you should shift your withholding at work or maybe make smaller quarterly payments if you're a gig worker or self-employed. And then you can keep more of your money throughout the year. Once you've got this chunk of money, though, in your account, I think what you said about goods costing more, obviously prices at the pump up, I might reserve a little bit of money just in case you've got some extra expenses coming in over the next couple of months. Once you've done that, I go back to Aunt Jill's big three. You know, the big three are they're constant. Number one, it is absolutely imperative to create an emergency reserve fund, your own safety net. This is 6 to 12 months of your living expenses in a safe, accessible account. Got that done? Amazing. Now you're going to attack your high-interest debt. Could be a credit card, could be a high-interest auto loan, could also be a student loan. And number three, if you've got 1 and 2 done, maybe you nudge up your retirement plan contributions, or you use some of this money and open a Roth or a regular IRA. These are all really good ways. I know it doesn't sound as much fun, but it will pay off in the long term. And you know that whatever you were going to buy, that splurge, it's going to disappear in 2 seconds after you've done it.
I like Aunt Jill's big three. That's a good one. All right, so you got the refund. What should you avoid doing?
Well, I mean, obviously, the biggest avoiding is getting another one next year. But I think that what happens for a lot of people, and I have heard this on the radio show and the podcast, people want to use that chunk of money. They're like, I want to pay down my mortgage. That is a very emotional response. And I understand that having no mortgage feels like peace of mind. More than half of homeowners have mortgage rates that are under 4%. So once you've paid off that 4% loan, your money is not working for you. And I think that over time, you're going to make more than 4% if you're a diversified investor. And the other thing I have to point out is that once you've paid down a mortgage, the money's gone. What if you need that? What if you lose your job? You lose hours? What if you've got a medical emergency? Especially even as you get older in retirement, once that money's gone, it's gone.
I mean, people should follow. I mean, you know this, Jill. You know this, Kelly. Uber wealthy people who own property don't pay their mortgages down.
Yeah, I think that. Listen, I understand. It's this. I think it's an old trope that's really been banged into us, because what we know is that there are people who had 10, 12, 14% mortgages, and yeah, that if you're going to get a guaranteed 10, 12, or 14% return by paying down a mortgage, great. Sure. But if you got a 4, even a 5% mortgage, I even say 6%. I just have a sense that people need access to their money more than they realize. And you only realize that usually if something bad happens, like an emergency, and then you're like, oh, I wish I had that money back. You know, you're not going to just be like, oh, you know, I have a medical emergency. Let me bring my brand new kitchen into
right. And I think that education is important, because we're taught when we're growing up, debt is bad,
and not all debt.
And it's not all debt is
exactly
bad.
Right.
Jill Schlesinger, thank
Thanks,
you.
Jill.
Thank you.
This Money Watch segment has been brought to you by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything.